What's up, gamers? It's your boy, Jcon. Welcome to another video. Most of the games that I play will have options to represent and express yourself with skins, and I for one am definitely a skins enthusiast. Whether that's from never using the base Lee Sin skin since its release in League of Legends, or slapping on a bright war paint on my scattergun in TF2, I have never shied away from spending moolah for the drip. Of course, Valorant has an incredible assortment of skins that have taken a fair penny from me, so I thought I'd go over the Vandal skins today and see what each of them says about their user. Let's get into it. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are here at the tier list. I have put down different sections of them based on my own opinion on where I would use the Vandal personally. We have the auto equip, which means I would definitely put it in my inventory and would not shy away from using it. A would buy means that I would probably spend money on it, you know, and Riot, you can take my money. You can get a little moolah from me, a little cash money. The next tier is pick off the ground. So if I see the gun on the ground, I would not be opposed to using it, picking it up off the ground and using it for a round or two, you know. The next tier we have is mid. Of course, you know what that means. Mid is mid. The tier under that is just like you could consider it a little bit like mid, but I feel like it's kind of just like a tier below mid, just a little bit, you know what I mean? And then we have the straight garbage tier. Of course, this doesn't really need an explanation. There are some hot ass skins out there, bro, and yeah, some's gonna go in there. And we have at the bottom, they would rather use default. Yeah, there's just some skins that I would never touch, I would never use, and I would rather use a default skin, and that should say something about the skin in itself, but I digress. Anyways, let's just jump right into the tier list, shall we? So at number 1, we have the Altitude Vandal. I think the Altitude guns are really troll. I know that there's like a certain market for them. You know, I feel like these are the whimsy kind of guys, you know, the people who enjoy having just fun memery and shenanigans, don't really take the game entirely seriously. Very much reminds me of my friend Austin because he really likes this skin line. But for me personally, I don't like it, but I can see how there's a market for it. I'll put it in for now. I think is just, you know, it's all right. It's not the best. It's not the worst. Just All right. Next up, we have the default Vandal. Solid black. Clean, sleek. You know, default usually indicates either 1, you're broke, or 2, you're a smurf, or 3, you're punishing yourself for playing bad and you need to go back to earn your right to use skins again. But I personally don't like the default. I, of course, don't enjoy using default skins in almost any game. Like in CS, I have to have a skin on everything. In League of Legends, I always have to use a skin, etc, etc. I think just skins make the game more fun, and because of that, I'll put this in mid. I think the default Vandal is mid. It's solid. It looks clean, but you know, why use the default? If you're gonna spend money, you might as well get something nice. All right, moving on to the next one, we have the Araxis Vandal. Ooh, I love the Araxis Vandal personally. The sounds of it, that deep bass, and just like the pull-out animation was like, I love like that alive feeling. It gives me a lot of Dune vibes. I don't know if any of you guys have watched Dune, but Dune is just, it's a great movie. I love Dune. Can't wait for part 2 to come out. And this would be an auto equip for me. Actually, this would be a would buy. This is a would buy. The Araxis is definitely a would buy gun. If you're definitely looking for a gun and you like that deep bass and you're into that kind of space and futuristic like lizard people armor. If you've ever watched Battleship, terrible movie with Liam Neeson. Terrible movie. It's not a good movie, but it's very entertaining. It's fun in that sense, but it's not a good movie. Their armor reminds me of the gun a little bit. So I personally really like that kind of stuff. I'm a sci-fi nerd, so it is what it is. All right, moving on. The Aristocrat. When I just think about Aristocrat, I just think you're just a really bougie person, and it's not bad. I mean, the gold and the black looks pretty clean overall, but just like, yeah, I think that's my reaction. I'd rather use the silver one than that one. I don't know. I just think gold and black and like that kind of royal-esque fancy schmancy look is not really my vibe personally. You know, I think it's more like posh vibe, and I'm not a posh person. No. All right, we have the Avalanche Vandal next. Ooh, one of the cool things about the Avalanche Vandal is that the ice flows move, which is really nice, and it has kind of like that perspective thing. But I'm gonna be real with you guys, I'm colorblind to blue and kind of gray and dark, mixed gray and black to me, so it's just not that great of a gun in my opinion. I don't know why you would use this. There are other better blue guns, I guess, so I'm gonna put this in straight garbage. I can see the appeal. No, I can't see the appeal, bro. I'm putting it. I would rather use the default gun. But again, I'm biased because, you know, I'm colorblind. So You know, you just deal with it. You just deal with it. You can go on with it. The next one we have on the list is the Cavalier Vandal. This was an OG battle pass skin. I think like the second battle pass that was ever made. And I remember telling myself, I'm not gonna buy this battle pass because this skin is so garbage. So you know what? That goes into straight garbage, bro. I would never use this. I would never use this. I mean, I get that there's like an appeal to it if you're into that old kind of horror vibe, like that old wooden cassette and maybe like a radio thing, but like it's just not it for me. That's just straight garbage. It's out of here. Not even a competition. Don't even want to look at it. Next, Champions Vandal, the original one, the first one. Oh, I love this gun. I think the firing mechanic with the VCT logo showing up at the muzzle when you shoot it. It was the first Champions gun, you know, to represent champions. Like, I don't know. For me, it's an auto equip. It's one of the greatest for a reason. It has to stay up there. It's just so good. And when you're top fragging, you get that glow. It feels so good and rewarding. And now I can see the downside if you're not good at the game or you may not be top fragging, but it's still a really, really nice skin. I love the way it sounds. It just has like a deep bass to it. And it's just, love it. Love it. Personal favorite all the way up there. Next, we have the Chrono Void Vandal. Now, the Chrono Void series, I think, is pretty cool. It kind of goes into that space tech thing, very similar to the Araxis and Origin, which we'll get to down later on the list, which was its predecessor. But I think it's okay. I'm not the biggest fan of the Chrono Void series. I think the gun itself is a little too loud. And I mean, it's cool, but I feel like the orb thing in general, there's some guns that just don't make sense. Like they replace the magazine when they reload, right? Like you normally reload the gun like right, but this one you just like toss the orb in. They're like, so I don't know. I would pick it up off the ground, but I wouldn't pay for it. Not my thing necessarily. Next, we have the Crimson Beast Vandal. I don't like this. I don't like this at all. The Hephaestus hammer that comes with it, like the knife, I think is kind of cool. It's kind of pog, but this one's just, it's lame. It's like a cheap skin. Yeah, I mean, if you're into the whole devil, fire, monster, evil monster, Balrog kind of stuff, like cool, this might be for you. This is more for like the D&D nerds, I guess. But yeah, this one ain't for me. I'm gonna put this in straight garbage. It's better than the Cavalier. You know, I would rather use the Avalanche than the Cavalier. We're demoting that one. That one's so bad. It's too ass. Going on to Cryostasis. Okay, this Vandal, I actually had a ton of hope for this Vandal. I think the design of it's super, super unique. I love the spinning drill kind of effect that they have, especially when you shoot. It's just really cool. I think the handle design where the trigger is just looks really, really cool. I like that kind of design of the metallic vibe. I think it has like a really nice solid sound. The finisher is pretty cool. I'm a big fan of this. I would buy this. I would buy the Cryostasis Vandal. Next up, we have the Depth Vandal, one of the other original Valorant Battle Pass skins. One of the first 3D ones, to be honest, too. And I absolutely hate this skin. I hate all 3D skins. I think the 3D skins are so bad. I have a friend that loves the Depth skin line, especially the Ghost. For some reason, he loves the Depth Ghost. But man, I just cannot, bro. It is just, no, thank you. I'm done. Nope, we're good. Moving on, we have the .X Vandal. Now, this one is an OG Vandal, man. I think this was the first battle pass, if I remember correctly. The .X Vandal. Yeah. I mean, if you own this skin, that just tells me that you're an OG, you know? Valorant has exploded as a game in the last 3.5 years for sure, but real OGs have this one along with the Ruined Knife. One of the things that I really liked that Valorant did when they released the accessories store was the fact that you were able to get accessories again, but not skins. And I really like that because I think kind of gatekeeping a little bit those old OG skins from the newer populace to kind of just differentiate like who's been here and who's not is something that I personally like as someone who's been around since the beginning, and I'm just a hater to newcomers, so deal with it. But because it is an OG, but it's not that great, but it has like an OG place in my heart, I would put it like in the pick off the ground. Personally, I would say it's like along the lines of mid, but because of that history factor of it, because not that many people have it in comparison to the player base now, it gets a little bit of a boost. Next up, we have the Ego Vandal. Now, the Ego Vandal was one of the first skin sets that was released in the game. It has Japanese on it, and then if you use different variants, you have different languages on it. I thought that was really, really cool. I personally am a really big fan of the Ego knife itself because of this kind of design and the colors. I like the Ego Vandal. I think it's a pretty good variant of the default. So if you're looking for a default variant, I think the Ego looks really striking, and I honestly think it's very, very underrated. Personally fan, I would put it on pick it up off the ground. But above the .X, don't think I would use the .X necessarily, but an Ego, if someone was using the Ego, I would probably pick it up for a round. It's pretty sick. All right, going on, we have the Elder Flame Vandal, the Dragon Dong. Oh, baby. Dude, this was the first like super expensive skin bundle that Valorant came out with. I remember people were like, oh my God, it's like $100 freaking. And I was like, yeah, that shit crazy, bro. Like the knife itself is like 50, 60 bucks. Like I think that's freaking crazy. But the Dragon Dong is really sick. Although I always make fun of it when you're holding it, you know, you're touching the Dragon Dong, you know what I'm saying? You're like but I like the Dragon Dong skin. I would definitely use it if it was ever off the ground. I would never buy it, but I would definitely use it. I'm gonna put it above the Chrono Void because I think it's really funny. One of the things that just reminds me was this professional player. His name is Boo. He plays for Team Heretics now, and he's the IGL, but he was one of the progenitors of Stiff Dragon, where you would only upgrade the dragon like one level. So you get the sound effects, but you don't get the wiggle and the movement as much. You just have like a stiff ass dragon. So I don't know. I thought it was so funny. That one will always live rent free in my mind. It's just good. That's just good stuff. All right, next we have the Endeavor Vandal. Now, this is for all the space lovers out there. If you're a rocket ship man, you're a NASA kind of guy, you like space and all that stuff, the Endeavor series line and the Vandal specifically is the gun set for you. And my God, does it look quite nice, honestly. It looks like a satellite that's launching into space like NASA would launch. I think it's really, really clean. I'm a huge fan of this Endeavor skin line, actually. And if I didn't already have so much money invested into the game and other skins, I definitely would have copped this. It's a cheap skin and it looks very nice. I'm personally a very large fan of this, and I would put this in the would buy category. I know most people won't agree with me on that one, but I'm telling you, bro, this thing is gas, bro. It's straight gas. Next, we have the Forsaken Vandal. Auto equip. If you do not like the Forsaken Vandal, I don't know what you're smoking. It is literally 2 skin lines in one. How many skins and guns give you that option? Not that many. It's one of the few dark green skins in the game. Now, if you don't know, I am a huge stan of green. Green is my favorite color, so I'm extremely biased on that aspect. And secondly, the other variant where you can swap it to the Sovereign side, which is one of the GOAT, if not the best skin line up there in my opinion. I freaking love the Sovereign. I'm a Sovereign damn right. It's an auto equip. It's an auto equip. It's a cop. You gotta use it. You know what? Honestly, it's better than the Champions Vandal. I'm sorry. You look at Jing. Every time I watch Jing when he's using the Forsaken Vandal on Raze and he's just popping off with his little cat buddy, I just love the sound. I love the sword coming out of the sky. Just beautiful. Goated skin. Next up, we have the Gaia's Revenge Vandal. Now, I also own this skin. This was actually the first full bundle that I ever bought in this game. And I'm gonna be real with you. This skin is clean as hell, bro. It's clean as hell. If you want to talk about a skin line that's just meant for one tapping, that feedback of the boom and the dung, this one might be the one for you, bro. This one might be the one for you. The variants are so nice. I think the default red, white, gorgeous. You move on to the green, and one of the few green skins. Not the greatest of greens, but if you're into that nature kind of vibe, the green. And then the blue. Don't get me started on the blue. It is just like Thor has just sent his lightning through a tree, channeling through Yggdrasil. You know what I mean? That is just so badass, man. gotta put above champions. And of course, you know, Demon 1. This is his skin line. If there's one thing that I love about professional scenes in games is when a player is able to take a gun and make it their own and build that as part of their brand. Guy's Revenge Vandal is the Demon 1 Vandal. That boy clean as hell. When I hear him click those heads, it's just I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. All right. Speaking of an iconic Vandal, we're going on to the Glitch Pop Vandal. Now, this is known as the Durka Vandal. You know what I mean? And the red Glitch Pop, an OG skin, one of the early bundles that came out, that conveniently enough also came out with a Phantom and a Vandal. So it was one of the few doubles where it covered both of the main guns, which is really, really cool and unique at the time. I personally really like the Glitch Pop. I think it's very good. The feeling of one-tapping someone with that gun it hit different. I'll put that in the wood bite category. It's better than the cryostasis in my opinion. Underrated. Now we're going to a battle pass skin. Hive Mind. Straight trash. Don't even talk about that shit. Get that garbage out of here. We have a 3D skin, the Horizon skin. Okay. Now, I know I was shitting on 3D skins earlier, and don't get me wrong, I still think they're pretty fucking ass. But, the Horizon Vandal, I think, is the only one that looks pretty solid and nice. I really like this kind of color. The sunset looks really, really clean. Overall, just in general, it's a Gotchi Hyper skin. I don't think it's the worst one, and it's better than all the other ones. I would put it... I'll put it behind the Aristocrat. It's not that good. All right, here's another battle pass skin. I think this is called the Immortalized. So this is the Jet Vandal in the kind of Mayan architecture style. I mean, I think that's pretty cool. Like the whole set, I think for that battle pass was focusing on that Mayan Aztec kind of culture with the knife and I think the battle pass card as well. I think it's okay. It's not like crazy cool. Yeah, I guess it's just I'd probably use it less than I would the Aristocrat. Actually, no. The Aristocrat's just too bougie for me. It's just too bougie. All right, the Ion Vandal. Now, I feel like this one did not get as much hype as other skins as a 2.0. Like, Ion 1.0 went crazy. You know what I mean? Like, that was the shit. But Ion 2.0, I don't really see many people use the Ion 2.0 skins very often. I personally do own the Ion Vandal as I am a green fanatic. And I like the sound of it. So, I'm gonna put it into I guess I have to put in a wood buy because I did cop it. Which is funny enough, but you know, yeah. All right. Yes. K-Tac. Now, this is one of the other OG Battle Pass skins. I think this was the third Battle Pass that came out in Valorant. And this one was the Flex. Now, this K-Tac line was like, after the Ruin Knife came out, this was the best Battle Pass skin line that came out. It's so sleek. It's clean. The nice black. The shiny black. So it gets rid of that matte that the default has. It adds these beautiful prism colors of pink and the purple. It's just, that's nice. That's really nice. I love this. I would pick this up off the ground. I think it's the best battle pass skin that's out there. One of them for sure. It's absolutely gorgeous. Gorgeous. We have the Luna Vandal. Now, this was the Vandal that came out for 2023 Chinese New Year or Lunar New Year. And this is the year of the rabbit themed. I don't think this one was as good as the Celestial Cow. I feel like if you ever try to do a follow-up to this, like, you know, the sequel is almost never as good as the original. And the Luna Vandal, just not that great. I mean, if you're into that gold blue vibe, it's cool. I mean, when you move it around, you have a little bit of like a water effect to it. I mean, that's kind of cool. I just put it in mid. I think it's mid. Next, we have the Lux Vandal. This thing is just hot garbage, man. I would never use this. It was way better in beta when you had the different variants. It had that nice lighter color, very similar to Sovereign-esque colors. But unfortunately, that did not carry over from the beta, and it's just that standard blue, and I think it's trash. Next, we have the Lycan's Bane Vandal. Yeah, this is just a knockoff of the Reaver, but it's default, and it's just not that good. It's better than the Lux, at least. Moving on, we have the Neptune Vandal. Now, the Neptune, I think, is really, really cool. I love the blubs. I love the fish. I think it's just a really funny skin to use. It's just a meme skin, so, you know, it's a wood buy. Gotta put that up there. I like naming the fish sometimes, you know. Build a little bit of connection with your skin, you know. You want to be intimate with them. Next, we have the Nitro Vandal. This is Laker Colors. don't use this. Just use the default skin. Unless you're like a diehard Lakers fan, I guess, but just... No. All right, we have the Nunca Olvidados Vandal. Probably beefed that really bad, so I'm sorry, my Spanish is not very good. This skin is super sick, man. The color change waves of it, especially going from dark to light, is representative of Mexican culture. Dia de los Dos Muertos, the Days of the Dead. I mean, it's just a super fly skin, man. I think it's really nice. I think it's really underrated. It's one of the best kind of default sounding skins up there. So I think it's a solid pick off the ground. The next line, Oni Vandal. Now, Oni skin line is my skin line. Obviously, they have the green skins. Love that shit. But one of the things that I love about Oni is kind of how they have this bit of a muted sound when you fire the gun. It's just... I love that shit. So, you know what? This one, it's an auto equip. I love the Oni Vandal. I feel like more people should use it. I think it's just a nice sounding gun. The Origin Vandal. Sick skin, sick inspect. Way too fucking loud. Would not use. Mid. We have the Prelude to Chaos Vandal. Nothing else needs to be said. This is the fattest auto equip in the game. This gun is literally pay to win. It is broken. Go watch my montage of me using the skin once I bought it. It is literally so fucking broken. It is BS. Buy it. It is super sick. I love it. The orb in the middle, it grew on me when it first came out. I was like, bro, I'm not gonna buy this skin. The orb in the center just ain't for me. But bro, it is such a clean sounding skin. It's just a clean looking skin. You just get automatic free headshots. Buy this skin. It's the best skin in the game. No cap. Now we have the second best skin coming up right here. The OG, before it was dethroned by the Prelude to Chaos. This is also an auto equip. The Prime Vandal, the first bundle that came out in Valorant. I love this skin. It is so clean. It is so crisp. Genuinely, if you get this in your store and you don't have a skin, it's a free cop. I'm a base skin user for this one. I don't like the variants. I just think the purple, white, and black is just so clean. So clean. Much better usage of Laker colors than the Nitro for sure. Moving on, we have Prism 2, which is just a fade on a Vandal that kind of changes depending on the direction that you look at it. This is for like those CS lovers that love the fade effect. I think it's not bad. Put it mid. A little bit better than the default. It's just mid. Going on, we have the Reaver Vandal. This is for all the TENS fanboys out there. This skin is overrated. This skin is not that good. Yes, it is cool. Yes, it has a cool reload sound. Yes, it sounds cool when you shoot it. It has all the marks of a good skin, but I fucking hate the choo-choo train sound. I think the train sound absolutely ruins this skin. I think if this skin had a different kill sound effect, and this goes on to all the Reavers, they had a different kill sound effect, this would be an auto-equip top 3 skin without question. But because of that kill sound, because of that, I absolutely hate it. I don't want to use the skin, and I put it in mid. I would rather use a default skin personally than that one, but I don't think I can put it all the way down in the dog shit tier because it is, granted, it's a great skin, but I just don't think it's that good, and most people who really like it are just TENS fanboys. Next, we have the RGX 11Z Pro Vandal, a real juicer Vandal. I personally love this skin. I love the sounds of it. I love the lasers. It's super precise. I feel like if you have one of those guns that have that nice feedback similar to the top 2 in our auto equip up here, this one is definitely up there. I think you can auto equip and run an RGX anytime. The fact that you can have different variant colors as a base is really cool. I think all of them look very, very nice, but the fact that your entire skin can change color depending on what color you want is just the kicker that makes it top tier, as well as it counting your kills during the game. I love things that do that. I wish they had an all-time counter, of course. That would be even better, but I don't think we're gonna get that in Valorant, so having an in-game counter is close enough, and I think this is a top tier skin. Definitely an auto equip in my inventory. Going on, we have the Ruin Vandal. This was one of the OG Battle Pass skins. It's nice, solid red gold. I mean, for the times and considering it's such an OG, you know, I might give it consideration like the .x, but it's an put it behind the silver one. It's all right. Yeah, it was old, but it didn't age the greatest. I mean, there's only just better default sounding skins, you know what I mean? default reskins. That a perfect example is the Sakura run right here. I love the Sakura skin line. I would say it. I'm a weeb, sure. You can call me out for that. This is a would buy. This is a would cop. The Sakura skin line is just so beautiful. It's so pretty. It's just very clean. It's one of the few full white skins in the game. And you don't really get that very often. It has a very nice Sakura tree on there. It's just clean. You look at the underside of the front side of the handle where you put your hand and it has the nice Zen garden rake through it. It's just so beautiful. It's so clean. You like Japanese shit, this is the gun for you. Shout out to Laz on Zeta because this is his go-to play skin and my god, I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Next we have the Sarmad Vandal. This one is I mean, it's okay. You have, I think it's supposed to be Anubis, right? Yeah, I think it's supposed to be Anubis on it. I mean, it's not bad. It's not the greatest, but the fact that I said I'll put in like if that's my reaction, like you gotta follow the instinct reaction, right? The schema one, no thank you. It's like a blueprint effect but red, and I don't know, like yeah, Sensation Vandal. This is fucking dog shit, bro. If you use the Sensation Vandal, you need to get your eyes checked, bro. This is just too much. This is too much. You try to hide from somebody, they're gonna spot your gun and shoot your ass because it's fucking brighter than the game itself. Hell no. Hell no. All right, moving on. Sentinels of Light Vandal. Now this skin was super cool because it was released with a collab with the League of Legends side of the game, releasing all of the Shadow Isles story. So I think the Sentinels of Light skin line, because of that, is really cool. It also sounds really nice, has great variants, has a sick ass pull-out animation. I think this is a would buy. It's a solid gun. I really enjoy it. Sylvanas Vandal. Now this one, one of those 3D background skins that has a shifting background and kind of like a cabin. Straight garbage. Straight garbage. Starlit Odyssey, another battle pass skin. I don't even know what to relate this to. I feel like this just gives me like the Eternals vibes, like Marvel's The Eternals. I didn't watch the movie because I knew it was gonna be trash, so that's where I also think the skin goes. Straight trash. We have the .sys Vandal. Now this one I actually think was really cool. I think it has a more unique shape and take to the Vandal skin itself, but other than that, it's kind of just whatever. So put it here. Actually, I'll put the Horizon in front of these two. I'd rather use that than that. We have the Reyna Vandal, or the Team Ace Vandal. Skin kind of lights up when you shoot her eyes, like get flames in them. For a cheap skin, is not bad for purple. I mean, it's a really clean purple skin, but I think it's kind of whatever. I think it's pretty probably put it before the Sarmad a little bit because I like the effect. EU, who just got signed to 100 Thieves, is well known for using this skin, as well as Hazed, who has now retired. So that's who uses that skin. Tethered Realms. This is the worst skin in the fucking game. If you spend money on this or this bundle or any of the items from this bundle, you are literally just throwing your money into like a burning trash pit, because this is just a waste of your fucking money and you should never buy this. Absolute worst effect of the 3D background. It's just so bad. It's just not good. Titan Mail. Now this one, when this came out, the Titan Mail, I thought about it as the Lich Hunters from Lord of the Rings and those guys that were chasing Frodo all the way around their trip. I think it's kind of unique in that sense. If you're into that knight/medieval vibe from back in the day, this might be your kind of thing. But I think it's pretty yeah, I think it's pretty I don't think I've really seen anybody use this skin in game, like actually. Next we have the Valorant Go Volume 2 Vandal, which is the sticker skin line. It's a 3D effect on the sticker. This is just straight garbage, bro. Like, it's better than the battle pass skins, but like this is just, that's just ass, man. No thank you. Venturi Vandal. Now this one I think is cool. It reminds me of an F1 racing car, kind of those ass racing speedway kind of things, but I don't know. I think it's better than some of the other battle pass skins that have come out, and I'll put it mid. A little bit better than the default. Wasteland Vandal. I think this was the Shroud Vandal. He was a big fan of this one. I think there's a very specific aesthetic that this fits. And like, it's kind of those Mad Max motherfuckers that just love this kind of shit. Speaking of Mad Max, Furiosa, if you haven't seen the trailer, go check it out. That shit crazy. I can't wait for it to come out. But anyways, I can see where there's a certain aesthetic for this, but it's just not for me. And I'm not a fan of it. I think it's all right, but I'll put it mid. Okay, moving on. Winter Wonderland. Again, a 3D effect. At least it's slightly better than the Tethered Realms one, but I would rather use default. For sure. Maybe I was a little too harsh to the depths. That one could be best of defaults. Now we're hitting to the newest skins that were just released. We have the Black Market Vandal, which is basically just an AK-47 reskin. Now this is for the Call of Duty. This is for the CSGO. This is for the realistic lovers that just like that kind of realism effect. I mean, it's not bad, but are you really willing to spend $18 to $20 for a default skin that you get in CS? No, not for me. Hell no. Next up, we have Champs 2023. This is an auto-equip skin. I think the Champs 2023 Vandal was the best skin for the Champions bundle that they've released so far. The song with it was so great. The fact that Valorant was exploding by then. The fact that pretty much everybody at Champions was using this skin. The fact that it has kind of that same muted sound like the Oni does is just... God, I love this skin. I love how it tears up as you get more and more kills. The glow is just lovely. I don't know. Champ skins are just always just so unique. The fact that they're a limited time also is just goated skin. If you don't have it, sorry, you missed out, but pick it up off the ground if you see it and use it. It's a damn good skin. Alrighty, the next one we have is the Imperium Vandal, the knockoff of the Sovereign and the Chinese marketing scheme. Dude, I gotta shout out to Riot. Their Chinese marketing scheme, especially with some of their most recent releases on these skins, has been insane, and I gotta respect it because, you know, breaking into that market, that's a lot of moolah to be made. I think the skin's all right. I think it's actually pretty clean. If you're into that Jade Dragon and you really want to represent your Asian culture, I think it's pretty good. I think it's solid. I think that I'd put this in a would buy. If I didn't have any other skins and that was like the first bundle that I saw that came out, yeah, I would probably buy this. I think it's nice. Not bad. Next, we have the Monstrosity Battle Pass skin. I think the Monstrosity is cute. I think the variant of colors are also pretty not bad. For a default reskin, I think it's solid. Would I use it personally? Probably not. Put it in there. Okay. You know what? Maybe I'll be nicer to the black market. And I'll put in mid, just so we have a little bit of a better distribution of things. Next, we have the No Limits Vandal that is representative of Shibuya. I think that's really cool. And I like the little doggy on it, especially. I think it's cool how it changes color from light to dark. A better effect of the 3D than a lot of the other 3D skins. I'd put it in mid. Better than Wasteland Rebel, in my opinion. Mid. Next, we have the Orion Vandal. If you're into that Borderlands kind of drawing thing, very similar to the Radiant Crisis bundle, if you like that, this is also reminds me a lot of like mecha stuff, especially the sword that gives me Gundam vibes, you know what I mean? So if you're into that kind of thing, it's a pretty cool skin line. I won't lie. I personally wouldn't use it, but I don't think it's bad. Put it behind that AK. Next, we have the Sand Swept Vandal, which I believe is a battle pass skin, if I'm not wrong. I mean, it takes like a very interesting approach to the shape of it. It gives me Prince Ali, as you can see. You know, Aladdin vibes, especially with the curve of the moon for the trigger and the shape. It looks kind of like a genie bottle. I mean, I think that's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. I think it's underrated, actually. The top where the gun comes out actually looks like a top of a mosque. So that's actually really cool in my opinion. Better than most. I'm gonna put that above. Put it behind the Orion. I like the Orion a little bit better. We have the Transition Vandal, which I believe was also a Battle Pass Vandal as well. Kind of has like a moving lava lamp effect with very, very bright colors and kind of a different shape. Yeah, if I hit it with an you guys already know what that means. That's an I like the Monstrosity better and the Sis. And then last but not least that we have on this list here is the Valiant Hero Vandal, the Sun Wukong Vandal. Again, like I mentioned earlier, their marketing to China has been absolutely nuts. I think the skin itself looks really, really cool. I like how the background kind of changes and you have these mountains growing once the staff gets in. You can kind of see his journey across great distances. I think that's really cool. However, for a muted Vandal comparatively to the Oni and the champions, I just don't like it as much. I would probably pick this up off the ground, but I don't like it as much as I think I would have really thought. And I'm seeing that this tier list is missing one last Vandal on here, which I'm kind of surprised, but you know, there's so many in the game that you're bound to miss one. It is the Mage Punk Vandal. I love this skin. The different variants gives you so many variations of colors. I mean, your default gets you that nice standard brown. When you switch to green, you get this kind of jade color with gold. You go to orange, you have this nice technological black marble look. And then when you switch to yellow, you have this beautiful wood, futuristic tech kind of skin. You have this beautiful gyroscope within it. I think the skin is super underrated. I love the moving parts, especially when you shoot. It is such a good skin. I would put this in a would buy. I would probably put it right here. Imagine the default is the placeholder. I would put it right here. I'll put it right there. God, that is such a beautiful skin. It is so good. All right, just looking at this, just doing some final changes. I'm going to move the champions above one. RGX goes down one. Move the dot sys a little bit higher. I want to move one down out of I think the schema can go down. There, everything can line up. Look good. Cavalier can go below this one. All right, I think this will be my finalized list. Perfect. That's the video. I hope you all enjoyed. Let me know down below what you think about all of these Vandal skins and where you would place them on your own tier list. I know I'm very opinionated and a lot of my opinions may not match with yours, so I would love to hear what you guys have to say. Anywho, I hope you all enjoyed this kind of style of video. Thanks for watching, and until next time, stay hydrated. Peace.